Gotcha.
Hey, how's it going everybody? It's theGameconomist, and today I'm working on the Prestige Nightfall Inverted Spire for week 6, October 10. And the two modifiers are going to be attrition. Attrition is where you need to shoot enemies. They'll drop something called like a well of light, and you'll pick that up in order to get your health regen. If you don't do that, your health regen is severely reduced. The other modifier is called killing time. Basically, you shoot enemies to increase your timer. Red bars give you 2 seconds, yellow bars give you 7 seconds. So whenever you see a group of red bars, kill those fast. And of course, yellow bars are always good. Always shoot those down. Now, for your loadout, I strongly recommend scout rifles. The best PvE scout rifles right now are the Nameless Midnight, as well as the Mananan SR4. Both really good. That was a kinetic and an energy weapon that I just listed. For your power weapon, you mostly want to think about what's going to be effective against the boss, because you don't really need a power weapon for dealing with all the ads leading up to the boss. It's just the boss himself is really tough. That's probably where you're going to lose most of the time of your strike. So being able to kind of knock him out of the first stage of the boss fight, as well as, of course, the third stage, which is the most difficult, you want to make sure that your weapon has that in mind, okay? So I've got Wardcliff Coil. I thought that was a pretty good choice. Merciless might be another good choice. It's up to you. You can experiment with it, but I think Wardcliff right now is just probably your best option. Alright, so for this next area, it's pretty easy. You just want to clear ads out as fast as you can without dying. And yeah, you'll want to kill the 2 yellow bar Hydras that come into the map, and then it'll allow you to progress. I was a little surprised at how easy it was, actually. They could have had like hobgoblins hidden around. Nope, nothing like that. So there's a bottom part to it. You can jump down and kill the ads down there if you want, but I didn't really think that was necessary. So I just kind of stayed up top with my teams and took down the Hydras. So for this next area, you have 2 Sniper Scions and 1 Colossus that are on top of the barracks on the left and right. You want to get into a safe spot and shoot those down with your scout rifle quickly. Now the objective here is to kill 2 Drill Sergeants. They're essentially yellow bar Legionnaires. Actually, no, I'm sorry, they're Majors, I believe. And there's one in the right side barrack, and the other one would normally be in the left side barrack, but for this particular Nightfall, you're actually going to find the second one behind the right side barrack near the landing pad, okay? So you want to go over there and kill the second one over there. You have to be careful. There's a lot of Minotaurs here. So, you know, if you want to take out the Minotaurs first, you can get a nice chunk of time from that. Just be careful. Don't get overwhelmed, and be mindful of the Colossus. You can have your team split up if you want. You probably should. You could have one person go to the left, take down the Scions and the Colossus, and the other 2 guys go inside and kill the first Legionnaire, or the first Drill Sergeant, if you want to call him that. Right after killing the drill sergeants, you'll get your second objective where you need to jump. Well, basically you take the launch pad up to a drill, then you jump down inside of the drill, you'll activate another timer basically, you know, it'll need to download or something all the way up to 100%. And yeah, the room's going to fill it with ads, and if you all jump down there, you can take the ads out quickly together using supers or heavies or whatever you want. There will be groups of red bars and yellow bars, so this part's pretty important if you want to get your timer up. You don't want to just ignore these ads, which if you were doing different, you know, like a different modifier, maybe one that wasn't killing time, you wouldn't technically need to kill these guys. Killing the ads inside of the drill is optional. The timer will go by, that is the upload or the download will go by regardless if you're killing ads. So yeah, but for this particular modifier, you do want to jump down and actually kill stuff. This next section is pretty much going to be the last part before you reach the boss, and the strategy that we were using is we had one player run ahead to actually teleport us into the boss, while the other two stayed behind and killed ads to increase the timer. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole pre-boss kind of like run, because there are a lot of like yellow bar hobgoblins, and then the goblins and the fanatics that come out are surprisingly a little overwhelming. I didn't expect them to be so many. So yeah, try to get as much time as you can for your team, but in the end you need to have a guy who's just pushing toward the boss and ready to pull you into that fight so that you just, you know, you're making progress. Alright, and at this point you're going to be in the boss fight. I find the first phase to be kind of the second most difficult part of it. Basically, he's going to bring in a whole bunch of those harpies, and they're all going to be shielded because you're doing the, you know, the Nightfall. And he's going to be using a torch hammer, and he's going to be teleporting around, and there isn't a lot of space basically. You get kind of overwhelmed quickly. There's a couple strategies you could use. You could focus all the harpies down, or you could try to knock him out as fast as you can. I don't feel like we did as good as we could have, but we got to the next phase, so, you know, good enough. So phase 2 of the boss fight, in my opinion, is the easiest phase. While you're dropping down, you want to go ahead and find one of those mini pillars. They have a little raised platform behind that you can stand on. When you're standing on the raised platform, his fire attack doesn't reach you, okay? It doesn't affect you. And then you want to pick one of those mini pillars where you can actually see over it when you're standing on the raised platform. Some of them are like a lot taller, and you don't want those. Those are kind of a waste of space. You're looking for the ones where you can still see him and still shoot him. And basically, this is where you want to be shooting him in the head with your scout rifle, because you want your grenades to kind of come back, and you want your super to come back, and yeah, this is kind of like a resting point almost in the middle of the boss fight. If you start to get flanked by the ads while you're at this mini pillar, you know, you can shoot them down. They don't flank very fast. You do have to be very careful that everyone on your team doesn't go down at the same time, because there's a glitch on this part of the boss fight where it might not let your team respawn. It's very frustrating, so be very, very, very careful that your whole team does not go down, all right? For the third and last part of the boss fight, you want to make sure that you're holding on to all your cards up to the point where his head pops off. Once his head pops off, things get crazy fast. A lot of ads come in. He comes on to the middle platform. You know, he doesn't just circle around the outside anymore. He actually comes on, tries to stomp you, gets really close to you, and this is kind of where things can go really wrong for you, and you can lose a lot of time. It's like the worst. You're at the end. It's like the worst time to fail, right? So yeah, you want to make sure that if your team's got supers, everybody's communicating to each other. You want to be using all your rockets, all your heavy ammo on the boss when after his head pops off, not before. You want to be using all your heavies on him, and you know, you can, if you're really feeling overwhelmed by ads, you guys can try to clear the ads out. Also, this is another area where if you all go down, it's possible that the game glitches and doesn't let you respawn. I've seen it happen. It's rare, but it does happen, okay? So try not to have your whole team go down, but I know it's going to be tough. And after that, you'll be all done. I want to thank you guys for giving this a watch, and if you enjoyed it with the voice commentary, let me know. I like to do the normal Nightfall pretty early, and my girlfriend's actually still asleep at that point, so I don't do the voice commentary, but, you know, I could. Maybe we could work something out, I'm not sure. But I could probably always do the voice commentary for the Prestige Nightfall. And I hope this helped you guys, and if it did, consider sharing it so that other people can use it as well.